Good morning, everybody. You are listening to K-Talk Radio, 1640 AM. I am your host, Yoshi Shiraki. This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. And today our very special guest is three-time Olympian J.R. Selsky. 3 times. 3. That's insane. That's so insane. You know, JR, I've been in the Olympics 10 times, so the last 40 years I've been participating as an Olympian. I'm kidding, of course. Like 3 times. That's insane. So today what we're going to be talking about, guys, is mindset, right? We talk about a lot of real estate on this show, investing, entrepreneurial, being able to quit your 9 to 5, go do your passion, to chase something that you love. But a big component to what is missing in a lot of these opportunities for people that they're passing by is they don't have the proper mindset. Now, if you get to the Olympics once, that's because you believe in yourself, and that's where it starts. If you get into the Olympics 3 times, well, that's just like the most amazing mindset, right? And Jared's got a nightmare story that almost prohibited him from ever competing again, and you guys are not going to want to miss that. Not only is J.R. Selsky a 3-time Olympian, but world record holder. Like, that's sick. To be able to say that you hold the world record at something, right? I can't say that for anything. Nothing. And so we're going to be talking about that, as well as preparing at a peak level to be an Olympian. JR's won multiple medals. So you're definitely not going to want to go anywhere. This show is going to be very, very powerful, impactful. If you're somebody who needs a little kick in the butt, you've been thinking about wanting to quit your job, quit your 9 to 5, pursue entrepreneurship, invest in real estate, flip houses, whatever it may be, start a business, but you can't get the fear to go away, so you stay paralyzed and you don't take any action, then you're going to want to definitely hear what JR has to share with us today. So, JR, thanks for sharing on my show today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me here.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
And JR's a real estate investor too, by the way. We didn't talk about that. He's known for being an Olympian, 3-time Olympian, a little bit more. But JR is also a real estate investor. He understands the power of entrepreneurship. Oh, and an entrepreneur. He's got his own company. And so let's dive into this if you don't mind. Okay, can you please start off at the beginning on how you got started in speed skating, and how old were you, if you don't mind sharing?
Definitely, yeah. So my journey began at 3 years old.
Wow.
Up in Federal Way, Washington, of all places. It's a suburb about 20 minutes south of Seattle.
Very cool.
I grew up about a mile down the street from a roller skating rink called Patterson's West.
Really?
And my dad, my mom and dad had 3 kids, 3 young kids.
Boys?
And,
Boys?
All boys.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 older brothers.
Nice.
And my dad was just really trying to find something to get his sons involved in while my mom was at work at night. Because we were all rowdy, running around the house, and he's like, I've had enough of this. I gotta get these kids active. I gotta have them do something.
Right.
Fill the time. So my hair from going way quicker. But yeah, so he brought us to Patterson's West.
Okay.
And there was an inline speed skating team there.
Oh, wow.
So both my brothers and I and my father actually joined the team.
Really?
Yeah, so all different ages. My brothers are 6 and 9 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of a wide age gap. And yeah, he just found a sport that we could all participate in.
Very cool.
Yeah, kind of kicked off from there. So I started at the the club level. We went to we went to regionals every year, which were in Oaks Park near Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
So we went down there every year. Started competing very early. I think my first competition I was about 4 years old.
Wow. So my son's 4. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just skating around in circles. So my parents, put me into it, and then the thing I realized is that, and they realized is that I had a big smile on my face every time I was doing laps and out there skating. So I genuinely enjoyed it. It was a fun thing for me to do. I got pretty good. So like I said, started going to regionals, started winning regionals. Then we went to nationals every year. I think my first nationals I was 6 years old.
Wow.
And then I went there and I got completely smoked by the kids. I had no idea what I was going to getting myself into.
Where was it?
It was in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay.
Of all places. Yeah. Cornhusker lands.
Right.
So I went out there and it was the first time in my life pretty much that I was in defeat. I got defeated. And I didn't know what that meant. My dad actually had to pick me up off the floor because I was crying after losing the race. I came back 2 years later in 1998 to Fresno, California Nationals, and I won for the first time.
Wow.
So first time winning.
And how old were you there?
I was 8 years old.
Gotcha,
so,
8. Okay.
Yeah. So this was my first
Amazing.
inline speed skating national championship win, first big success. And I mean at the same time it's like I was a kid, and kids don't really think about the success they're having. They don't think about I'm winning all these, of course it's a big shiny medal, but I think kids are more honed in on having fun with things.
Exactly.
And that was definitely a highlight of what I tried to do throughout my life and career as a speed skater, is just to continue to hone in on that and having that fun.
That is so cool.
So
obviously your parents probably not only saw that you had a big smile on your face, but you were probably good to commit at 6 to traveling to nationals. Like you're now leaving your state, you got to get a hotel, there's travel expenses. Were you already at 6 recognizably better than the ones that you were kind of competing with back home?
Yeah, I think, I would go back and forth. It was a really big inline scene in Washington where I grew up. So there's a lot of competition in itself just at home. Growing up and competing against the kids at home and knowing that I was on an equal or better level than that, kind of put me into the mindset that I was going to be on that level nationally, regionally and nationally as well. So
got it.
The club I grew up in Patteson's West, we went to nationals, and it was pretty much between us and another club out of High Point, North Carolina.
Really?
Where we would go back and just trade medal counts.
No way.
They were like so deep and had so many people from all the way from 4 years old to 65 plus. So it was just kind of a battle back and forth. But if you were good in that club, then you're gonna probably be good on the national level.
Got it. Is that still the case today?
I believe we are still winning medal counts. We're close. There's just such a great program up in Washington for inline speed skating, and who would have thought,
So. Are you the only Olympian out of that club?
No.
Wow.
No, there's several. So actually Apollo Ono was that. He was in that same team.
Got it.
And then myself, and then another kid actually who was in the 2018 Olympics. Aaron Tran is also from that club too.
So it is a deep club.
It is. Yeah, there's a lot of people. We actually have another young girl coming up. She's I think she's 18 or 19, Corrine Stoddard, and she's out of the same club, and she's gonna do great things in the sport too. So it's kind of a breeding ground, is what's considered for ice skating.
You mentioned girls. Your wife is a coach for the U.S., right?
Yes,
she's Canadian.
Yeah, she's a Canadian. She's from Canada. She's actually the program director for the short track team now.
Amazing.
So she is pretty much in charge of development for short track in the United States, and she oversees the national training program.
Wow.
She has to travel a bunch and understand how the pipeline in the United States works and make it better, and understand where our talent comes from, and kind of foster and raise that. So.
Very cool. And just for the record, for people that are listening, you can check out the video later when we put it out, because JR is young, right? You're talking 3-time Olympian, all this background. You kind of think that you're maybe hearing from an older gentleman. Him and his wife are young. Obviously, his wife's not in studio, so you can't see what she looks like, but they are. It's amazing what you guys do at such a young age to achieve what you guys have achieved. I'm very, very, very impressed. So JR, when did you realize then that you were just a little bit of another level above your competition and decided to take this to a more elite level versus fading off and focusing on something else in life?
Right, yeah. So at the time, around actually the 2002 Olympics, I was 12. I was playing multiple sports. I was in soccer, I played hockey, and I also inline speed skated. You know, I was definitely a lot better at inline speed skating than I was at the other two sports, but you know, it wasn't really a popular sport growing up. You know, what do you want to be? I want to be a soccer player.
Right.
I want to play in, you know, like the professional leagues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I want to be a football player. I want to go play in the NFL. Like, it's just kind of a random thing for a kid to realize when he's an early, you know, teenager, oh, I'm going to jump into a sport that's not super popular.
Right.
But in the 2002 Olympics, the sport was in Salt Lake City, actually here.
Yeah.
And just exploded internationally. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that happened at the Olympics. You know, like Stephen Bradbury coming a lot from behind when everybody fell and winning gold.
Oh yeah.
Like that story came out. Apollo won his medals here for the first time. So like just a bunch. Like it kind of put the sport on a whole nother level, and I was there to witness that. Trying, you know, as a kid trying to decide like.
Were you here watching?
No, I wasn't here. I was in Washington.
Got it.
You know, just watching on TV. But at the time, I was just like, well, you know, this is pretty amazing. Like if I could get to that level someday, that'd be cool. So it kind of just stuck out in my mind when I was trying to decide like, am I going to keep playing soccer? Am I going to keep playing hockey or whatever? So yeah, I just jumped right in. Like I told my parents, like I was 12 years old. I was like, I want to move. I want to start doing this full time.
Wow.
I want to start training for it. I want to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, 2 years later when I was 14, I told my parents like, I want to go and move away and start training like seriously for this.
Wow.
So we developed a plan. Obviously, it's a lot of information for parents to hear at that young age.
Yeah, exactly. At 14.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sure, yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah. What are you talking about?
Go play soccer.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back for dinner.
Go play some video games.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we decided on a plan together. You know, they were all in. You know, and they knew how much I loved it. So. Moved down to Southern California with my brother when I was 14.
Wow.
There was a really good coach and a good club down there. So I went down there and yeah, I pretty much like I went straight into high school down there. Had no friends. You know,
Amazing.
the only family I had down there was my brother.
Yeah.
So it was just a completely different environment for me. And yeah, that's pretty much when I started. So
That's incredible. So already at a young age, I'm already can tell that you're already a strong mindseted individual. Because at 14, most kids at 14, 15, 16, at 18, 21, don't even know what they want to be when they grow up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And at 14, already fully committed. Super impressive. Were you gonna say something?
No,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
no, it's that, yeah, you're right, and at the same time, I think I had been in skating for such a long time that it was kind of, you know, second nature to me to go out and compete. Obviously, thrusting yourself into competition and you know, like facing defeat and like facing failure and having success, it kind of throws you on a roller coaster.
Right.
Where you really understand and learn your emotions. So I feel like at a young age I was very aware of the emotions I was going through, that I was experiencing, but I didn't really understand until kind of, you know, when I started training down in California. You know, I was young. I was trying to make friends in high school. I was in public high school.
Oh yeah.
Trying to balance life. I had no idea what balance even meant.
Right.
My parents, you know, threw me in the car when I needed to go to practice. They, you know, they fed me. They took care of me. You know, and so I really had to understand what balance was at a young age, and it kind of came to a head when I was 16. I just like one day I called my dad and I was like, hey, I can't do this anymore. Like I miss you guys. I miss being at home. I miss being a kid.
Yeah.
You know I want to train for the Olympics. I want to go to the Olympics, but I don't feel like myself.
Right.
So I actually like, you know, it was kind of my first bout with, you know, kind of being in a depression. You know.
Oh
and
yeah.
So, like when I was super young. So it wasn't right for me, and I moved home.
Oh cool.
Quit the sport completely.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I went back home. And yeah, I just literally just started going to school again. I jumped into swimming.
Oh,
That
nice.
was terrible. It was so bad. I don't know why. All my friends are on the swim team. So
Okay, yeah.
That was awful. I couldn't even make it like 4 laps without coming up and.
Michael Phelps had nothing to worry about.
I don't know what I was doing there, but yeah, I just wanted to try my hand at different things.
Yeah.
Experience just being a kid again, and a year later, I just kind of got that desire back in me, that passion.
Yeah.
Came back, and this time I moved down with my dad for senior year of high school. And so I trained really hard that year. I had a great year, and I made the national team, U.S. national team.
Wow.
Moved out to Salt Lake the next year, and that's when my super serious training began for the Olympics.
Really?